What's in the stars and the cards for you this week ahead? Let's jump in and talk about this because this week, the universe is really encouraging you to let go. Have you ever had that feeling before where your hands are so full, you're doing so many tasks at once, carrying so many things that if the most incredible opportunity came your way, you'd have to say no because you didn't have time for it, you didn't have room for it. Maybe somebody was getting rid of like an all expenses paid trip somewhere around the world, but you had so many projects on your to do list. You're like, oh, I just can't say yes. Well, this week, what's happening is the universe is basically saying, hey, get off the merry-go-round. What you resist persists. So take a moment to look at what are you hanging on to so tightly? What are you afraid to let go of? Because you're like, well, it's good enough. It's not broken. The universe is saying there are so many more opportunities out there for you. I've heard your dreams. I'm looking forward to supporting you. But if you keep acting like this, you're eventually going to hit a wall. You're going to miss the bus, so to speak. Hello, Julie. As you hop on, give me a quick hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always nice to connect around the world because this week ahead, the universe is really saying there are opportunities for you. But if you are super busy, if you are holding on to the past patterns and routines, you're going to miss the bus. And the universe is very much like that. It gives us an opportunity, and it's not like it's lost forever, but it'll never look the same if it does come back around again. So ask yourself, what have you been waiting for? Is there a fear that's been holding you back? Oh, I'll do it when I have this accomplished, or I'll do it if this occurs. Like those conditions we place on things, when we're the right size or shape or education that we have behind us. Take a deep breath. The moon in Taurus is encouraging you to slow down and to really, I was going to say reassess, but it's one of these moments where you're refining your ability to really connect with the joys of life. And it doesn't have to be some wild roller coaster adventure. It can, but there are joys in the everyday. So welcome, welcome. Good morning, Chrissy. Glad you are here. So let's jump in. As you look at the week ahead, I want to invite you to ask yourself, where are you holding on too tightly, or what are you holding on too tightly to? There's the universal law of use. If we're holding on to things that we're not using, it causes all sorts of trouble and havoc. Somebody else could be blessed with that. Maybe we sell it and we also increase our prosperity and abundance. Maybe we release it and then we have space for the other things that we've been hoping and wishing for. But the universe is like, your plate is full. I can't give you this opportunity. You've got too many things going on. Hello, Hannah. Happy new moon. And yes, we are still in that new moon in Taurus window. If you are interested in the new moon sacred ceremony that I did with my Moon Club members, I have made it available. Let's see if it'll pop up for me. I don't think it will, but if you're interested, pop a message here in the comment and I'll send you the link where you can connect with that new moon in Taurus energy. Because if you're going to do a new moon sacred practice, I would encourage you, do it today. And then if not today, because then the moon goes into Gemini, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, then wait until Thursday when the moon is in Cancer. And that's another topic for another conversation. But this new moon in Taurus energy is encouraging you to enjoy your life, to enjoy it now. Don't wait for things. Don't let fear hold you back. The universe wants to share something with you. And if we haven't met yet, by the way, my name is Irina Miller. I'm a spiritual life guide and astrologer. And my joy is helping curious, empathic seekers like yourself connect with the sacred practices and tools that enable you to live the life that you were born to live. And I do that in a variety of ways right now through this weekly energy weather report, as well as one-on-one consultations and Moon Club. So with that being said, take a moment and we're going to just bring awareness into the center of our heart. And as you bring your awareness into the center of your heart, become more aware of the breath itself. Because there's this scattered energy this morning that I'm feeling. It is a bit of a rush. The Taurus moon is inviting you, slow down. It's going to be okay. You don't have to hustle in order to make the grade, reach the prosperity. Breathe. Bring your awareness into your heart space. Sometimes fear is such a motivator that it gets us wrapped up in busy work. And as we get wrapped up in that busy work and we're feeling productive, like I'm doing something, I'm accomplishing something, it's keeping you from really looking at the things that need to be looked at in the shadow, that need to be addressed, so that you can heal and you can release. And it seems a little intense at first, right? It can be a little scary to look at those things that sometimes we think if I don't look at it, it'll be okay. It'll sort itself out. It'll work out. But I want to invite you to breathe. As you breathe and you bring your awareness into your heart, ground however you like to ground. Maybe that's seeing roots from your feet growing into the earth, sending a beautiful green light from tailbone down through 6 layers of earth to core. Breathe. It's going to be okay. Call on your angels. You can always say that little prayer. May God go before me and show me the way. May angels watch and protect me throughout the day. And I want to invite you to call on either your guardian angel, maybe it's an ascended master, a teacher you work with. I would invite Archangel Michael to help you connect with your courage. The courage to address the thing that's been in the shadows, that's been holding you back or sabotaging your best efforts. Breathe. And there's that quote that I'll paraphrase. It goes something along the lines of, my darling, you're so afraid of falling, but what if you fly? So if you think about what are you holding on to so tightly, saving it for the rainy day, saving it just in case, what might it be like if you let go of it? Maybe it's a belief, a label that someone placed on you. Maybe it's a physical item. Maybe it's a condition, meaning when I achieve this, if this comes to pass, then I'll do blank. Breathe. Breathe. And I'm going to just ask the angels to surround you. And we're going to connect with the energy of Taurus, meaning Taurus, who's ruled by Venus, the beautiful Venusian energy, who's associated with the Archangel Chamuel. And just ask, especially after you've connected with God, Source, Universe. So we're only connecting with things that come from absolute light. And you are safe and protected. And you're asking for Archangel Chamuel's help as well, connecting with the beauty of life. Being able to enjoy yourself, to enjoy the pleasures of everyday living. So things don't have to feel so hard. They don't have to feel like a struggle. That the fear disguised as productivity doesn't keep pushing you into this busy, busy, busy routine. Breathe. Taurus is an earth energy. It's solid, steady, good, dependable, creates safety. Breathe and trust in the knowing that the answers will come to you if you ask and you spend a moment listening. And then it's up to us to take action. We'll take one more breath, integrating that energy. Okay, that's a little sidetrack, but I felt very guided to do that because I tune into the energy of all those watching in the future. And there are things that are creating a lot of instability, fear, worry, anxiety, and sometimes even scarcity. So we tend to, in those situations, hold on too tightly. And this was a card that I pulled for the energy of this week. This is saying, because it came out upside down, reversed, let go. There's something you're being encouraged to let go of to make room for a miracle and a blessing coming into your life. Okay, big highlights this week that I just want to address before we jump into day-to-day actions of the moon and what you can do to make the most of this energy is that Venus goes into Aries on Wednesday. And Venus is in Aries is a little bit sassy and bold and fiery. And when you were born, Venus was somewhere in the heavens above. Maybe Venus was in Cancer and made you really enjoy things that are very nurturing, emotionally welcoming and supporting. Maybe your Venus was in Scorpio and you like to have great, deep, intimate conversations with people. That's what lights you up. So Venus can tell us a lot. But where Venus is right now is she is getting ready to move into Aries. And on Wednesday, when she does so, it brings a sassy quality. She's not afraid to ask what she wants. She knows how to enjoy herself, and she's not shy about making it known. So Wednesday, the universe is saying it's okay to be a little sassy. It's okay to be a little fiery and bold, and to really go after what your heart is wishing for. Don't think you have to hold back. You don't necessarily have to proclaim it to the world, but at least be honest with yourself. Because sometimes you're like, oh, that's good enough, or oh, yeah, that's okay. I can work with this. But your heart really wants something so much more. Take a moment to be honest with yourself and maybe a trusted confidant. Then on Friday, Venus conjuncts Neptune. And when Venus and Neptune, and I just want to make sure I have that correct. I'm looking at my notes. Hold on. It is Friday. Okay. When Venus conjuncts Neptune, Neptune is a dreamlike quality. That is our intuition. And sometimes it also can be a little bit of illusion. So you've made your heart's desires and wishes known, at least to yourself. You've been very honest with yourself on Wednesday. Then come Friday, you might get into this daydreamy state. And I want to invite you to remember to ground and to be discerning, noticing, okay, this is really what I want. It's not just some fantasy that I'm getting wrapped up in. I can use my imagination to dream it, to visualize it, but I'm not falling into the trap of unrealistic expectations. I am keeping one foot kind of in the clouds or in the dreams and another foot on earth, very grounded. So we're looking for that balance. Then Pluto is going to go retrograde at the end of the week. And Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius is just an invitation to, and really, here's the thing, is that Pluto is more of when it shifts and it makes changes like this, it's an internal shift within yourself. And it really affects us on a global experience. It's not something that you notice in a day-to-day experience unless it is lighting up something within your chart. And so if you know astrology and you have anything within, 1 to 3 of the fixed signs or 0 to 4, then you might be feeling some shifts and some rumbles in your life. But Pluto is about transformation. And when anything goes retrograde, it's a review, it's a reassessment. And Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius is just, let's, reassess what's our relationship to freedom, to innovation, creativity, community, being able to speak our minds maybe in a slightly different way, that uniqueness, bringing it out. So you're recognizing the power of your voice and how by you speaking up in certain groups and communities can affect change. So this is deep transformational work, and you might not really notice anything big unless it is hitting your chart directly. And of course, if you're wondering, is that you? Then you can always sign up for a one-on-one reading. And some of you wonder where to do that. It is in the description, but I'll type it up really quickly here, irenamiller.co/stars. Easy peasy. So if you want to have that one-on-one reading and know, what's in the stars for me, is something hitting my chart, I'm having difficulty, then you can always go to irenamiller.co/stars. All right. So with that being said, let's dive into the energy of the week ahead. Oh, hey, and let's talk about the overarching energy. The moon, we're coming off that new moon in Taurus yesterday, and so the light of the moon is building. It's a waxing crescent to a first quarter moon. What does that mean for you? Well, it just means that as you're going into this week, take some kind of action on your new moon wishes. And again, if you're looking for that new moon sacred ceremony, drop a comment in the link. I'll make sure I send a link to you where you can access and purchase a copy of that. But the new moon ceremony, connect with the energy of Venus, light up your heart and ask yourself, what really brings me joy? Where do I connect with prosperity and abundance in my life? How do I attract that and draw that in? What do I need to embody and feel in order to achieve that? Because Monday, the moon's still in Taurus, still great to do that new moon ritual. It's saying ground yourself, because all of these ideas and dreams that we have, they're great, But if we're all just dreaming and talk and we can't actually draw it into the physical world to manifest it, what good is it? We're walking around with our head in the clouds, full of great ideas, but we never bring it into being. And when I teach my energy alchemists, mastering intuition students, is how you can run an idea through your energy centers. So you get that great, beautiful idea and you bring it down through your energy centers to help you make it a physical reality. And as you do that, you can start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm sabotaging myself in my heart here with this dream because I thought I really loved this and wanted this. But what I realize is my friends or my family or a well-meaning expert, guide, coach, they want it for me. And this isn't really my love. That's why I keep falling short of bringing this into the world. So something needs to give. It's a really fun energy exercise and practice to do. So with this new moon in Taurus on Monday, get outside, bare feet on the ground, hand on a tree, be with nature, garden. It's going to just help you embody these dreams that you have. And we'll pull a card to give you a little bit more guidance on this and just see who's popping up. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. And I love how the Knight of Pentacles pops up. Make sure that you can see this card because the Knight of Pentacles is all about planting for the future. He's playing the long game and he's outside barefoot. Holy cannoli. I love it. Thank you, universe. That was really in alignment. It's getting outside. It's taking your time. He's being cautious. He's not in any rush. He's not making any quick gambles. He's maybe even risk averse. He's like, I'm doing the time-tested true traditions that I know will work for me or have worked for others. I've done my due diligence, my research. And what I plant now, I'm going to have patience for in the future. So the work that you're doing today is going to bear fruit in the future. That's a tongue twister. So don't feel like you've got to see results right away. Okay, so Tuesday we move into a Gemini moon. And Gemini moons are curious. They're playful in the sense that they want to ask questions and they're fast. They have a fast mind. They're ruled by Mercury. And they want to kind of run from this idea to that idea. And and what's that? And sometimes it can even lend itself towards shiny object syndrome. So I'm going to invite you, since we're in that moon waxing phase where energy's building, we're taking actions on those new moon dreams. This is a day where you ask the questions. Maybe you interview someone. Maybe you do a little bit of research, talking with other people who've walked that road before. What should I expect? What should I maybe work on in order to achieve this dream? But brainstorming, journaling, listening to podcasts or TED Talks that inspire you, something like that can be very helpful. Or even going for a drive, because it's related. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so the car is associated with Mercury energy. So maybe even getting out, and how can you make the most of this energy? Knight of Pentacles. So this is really cool how the Pentacles have come up twice so far. Pentacles is about your physical resources, going back to Taurus and the earth energy. Again, he's contemplating, where am I going to invest this resource that I have? Where am I going to go? This is the expert. He has the Midas touch. So in order to be in flow and to manifest that prosperity and abundance, to co-create it with the universe, it is important that you can also hear inspiration directly and clearly, which means stepping away from the noise and chaos of the world, having some quiet time, whatever that means to you, a walk in the woods, sitting in a dark closet to kind of dull the distractions, listening to great music, painting, going for a run, anything like that. So you can hear the divine guidance, knowing that you hold an incredible amount of expertise yourself. The other thing that I'll say that's coming up, because it did come up when I was seeing the Gemini moon, is there might be an expert that you want to go to. The court cards in tarot also represent people in our lives. So there might be a wise person in your life, a mentor that you want to go and ask questions of, somebody who's walked that path before. So if you're looking at, opening a small business, maybe you go to the SBA, or maybe you go to a group of retired executives and you say, hey, what kind of steps should I take here? Is there something that I'm missing? I just want to do my due diligence and figure this out. Something along those lines. Or, maybe it's renovating your house. You've been watching all these HGTV shows, Weekend Warriors, and you've got a great neighbor who is an incredible painter, and you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to redo this room. Is there anything I should know, like insider expert advantage that can help me on this path? So I'd say look for the mentors on Tuesday as well. Wednesday, Moon is still in Gemini, so those new ideas are bubbling up. Gemini is a mutable sign. It's an air sign, so it's very flexible. It has no problem changing directions. So as you're doing your research, as you're getting information, you're asking questions, that Gemini moon's encouraging you to be flexible. So let's say like you're painting a room. My son's coming back and I want to paint his room and I want to make it really nice. And so I've been thinking about this and it's like, okay, well, where do I start? It's been a while since I've painted. I used to paint a lot in the house, but took a little break. And it's like, oh gosh, all right, where should I begin? Which paint should I use? What would be the best option? And you're kind of going through it. I'm painting over dark colors. So it's like, all right, so I might have one set of ideas in mind, and then I get information from a wise mentor who says, make sure you use a primer that can really work well in hiding the dark colors. I think, oh, okay, well, I have to change directions, be flexible, and go get that primer now. That maybe in the beginning I wasn't going to do. So things like that. All right, so Wednesday, how can you make the most of that moon? Let's see. Oh, Knight of Pentacles pops up again. How cool is that? So it's that mentor. I really do feel that it's leaning towards that a little bit. Lean into the wise ones in your life, the people who've walked the path before you, and don't be afraid to ask the questions. Because the thing about Wednesday too, remember, is that Venus is moving into Aries, and she's not afraid to say, you know what, I really want this in my life. I'm not going to hold back and be embarrassed. I'm not going to hold back and worry that people are going to judge me. I'm Aries, bold, fierce, sassy. I believe in myself. There's a courage that comes with it. So there's a boldness. So maybe there's, a color that you really love that when you tell your mentor friend, they're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. You're like, no, it's going to work. I know it's going to work. When I was painting my house a ways back, I had someone helping me and they're like, oh no, this is never going to work. And I thought, well, I don't know. Intuition tells me it will. And it did. I was so excited. So anyway, regardless, let's talk about that Thursday Cancer moon, getting a little sassy and saucy. Thursday, when the moon moves into Cancer, it's a more emotional moon. So we're feeling things more intuitive, a little bit more psychic. And you might take things personally. And this past weekend, when Mars was opposing Pluto, there were a lot of power struggles. People were feeling irritable, short. I don't know about you guys where you are, but my roads, like around us, people were driving a little crazy on Friday and Saturday. I thought, oh gosh, like I saw almost 10 accidents almost happen. I just kept golden bubble of light around the car. So that's another sacred tip. When you drive, imagine yourself in a golden bubble of light. You're placing energetic neutrality around you. If anybody's following too closely behind you, just increase your bubble size and your imagination around your car. And I always ask Archangel Michael for protection. I'm like, Archangel Michael, they feel way too close. Can you tell them to just back off a little bit? And it works. It's wild. It totally works. You'll have to try it. Let me know if it works for you. It's worked for me and my students, so I pass that along. Just be aware on Thursday. You might be taking things a little more to heart. You might be a little more sensitive. So you might want to choose the people that you're around. And if you're around a lot of, let's say, just mean people, protect yourself. You ground. You see yourself in that golden ball of light, the energetic neutrality. Maybe you have a crystal with you, like a hematite, a tiger's eye, things like that. There's so many things you can do to protect your heart and your energy as an empath. And all of these tools are great, but ultimately we want to learn how to strengthen our own energetic field so we don't rely on the tools, so that we're not freaking out and saying, oh my God, I don't have my crystal bracelet with me. How will I protect myself? They're just tools in the beginning to teach you how to set that energetic tone. And again, that's what my Mastering Intuition course is all about, is teaching you the energetic exercises step by step so that, yes, you learn how to use these sacred tools, but you don't have to rely on them always and forever. They're great to have, but it's nice to just be able to go out and feel light and go simple, like the moon says. Okay, Thursday, pulling a card. How can you make the most of that energy? The cards are popping. Don't take it so seriously. Enjoy. I love this artist's rendition of the Hierophant or Hierophant card because the original is very strict. He's almost got a scowl on his face, and he's got his two supplicants kneeling in front of him, and he's looking, the Hierophant, or like the Pope, he's looking straight at you, and it feels confined, it feels rigid, tradition, structure. But the way the artist here brought this through is she's saying there's many paths that lead to love, light, enlightenment, freedom, and liberation, to all absolute light, universe. God is where I'm going. Goes by many different names, but all of these paths, and the way to get there truly is not to be so serious, but to find the laughter. I used to have an energy teacher. She'd tap my forehead. You know, we wrinkle and get serious. She'd tap my forehead. I said, "Stop it, Irina." I'd be there on the energy table. She'd be tapping my forehead. And the other thing too that you can think about, that a tip I picked up from her that I loved, was if you have a tape playing in your head, right, like a recording, broken record, over and over and over, that inner mean girl or critic, inner mean guy, imagine hitting the eject button. Okay, I'm going to eject it. I'm going to release it. I'm going to release it to a golden bucket, ask my angel to take it away, and just fill up with whatever color of light feels good to me right now. So whatever you release, remember, you've got to fill up with. So that's another good point for this week. As you're letting go, remember, another universal law is that the universe, nature, abhors a vacuum. It doesn't like an empty space. It's going to fill it with something. So you think about this, your kitchen countertops, your tables in your home. How long can they stay nice and clean and clear before someone comes and they put stuff all over it? Oh my gosh, I'm constantly saying, okay, this is filled. This space is filled. This countertop, it is filled with emptiness right now. So I consciously, you have to, after you clear a space out, make sure that you fill it with something like energy, with light, with love, with sound, so that it can remain in that harmonious state. You know, that's the other thing too. Have you ever noticed that like certain areas of your home just collect stuff? Like the papers, mail always collects here, or coats or shoes. If you want to shift the energy of that area so that it doesn't keep attracting it, you have to do some kind of energetic cleansing or healing of that space so that you change the vibration of it. Otherwise, it builds and builds over time. And it's like all the shoes end up going to that spot, and all the mail or the clutter or the junk. It's very fascinating. I love playing with that stuff. Okay, so Friday, moon is still in Cancer. So still sensitive, still maybe you want comforting things, be safe at home. You may not feel like going out Friday night. You just want to be comfortable in your own home, your own space, feel safe, secure. If that's the case, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. You might even want to be around family or friends who feel like family. But the goal is safety and comfort. So how can you make the most of this energy? So revelation. So the Tower card basically says, and I pull out another card for this, that there's information that comes to us that maybe we had been in the dark about before. Now, Neptune and Venus are conjuncting on Friday. So this is a day to really be in tune with, you know, am I receiving truth? Am I receiving what I need to know in this moment? Whether it's our mind and our heart telling us one thing, like, oh yeah, this is going to be amazing. We're going to be a famous actress or a famous basketball star, or we're going to like hike the Himalayas. You want to be able to, yes, keep a dream alive, but do the discernment, what the yogis call the viveka. And you can say, you know, okay, universe, please give me a definite lead in a very sweet and gentle and loving and easy way. Am I on the right track? You know, is this person telling me the truth? Am I receiving all the information I need in order to create the best decision? But I love that phrasing, you know, universe, please give me a definite lead. So that comes from Florence Scovel Shinn. And then I love to add the little caveat in a sweet and gentle and loving way that I can easily see. So there's no question or doubt, but gentle, sweet, easy, and loving. That's important. We don't want to be hit by a cosmic 2x4. So information is revealed. So we have more data, but it might shock us a little bit. We might be like, oh, okay, well, I didn't realize that. So let's say, there was a job that you were going after and they wanted a certain certification and you thought, no problem, I can achieve that. And then you realize the certification is going to cost a certain amount of money. And it's like, oh, that feels like a cold bucket of water thrown on me. I didn't quite realize I'd have to invest that much. So, it could show up in all sorts of ways, but we know the information. Oh, and the second card that popped up with this was the Two of Cups, so a partnership. Really what this is doing, this revelation of information, is it's enabling you to connect with the partners that are in your highest and best interest, to really make like what feels like a marriage made in heaven. It doesn't have to be a marriage. It can be a partnering of like-minded hearts, like-minded souls. So give yourself the time that whatever information is revealed, don't let it feel like somebody's raining on your parade. It's helping you to avoid falling into the pit or the trap of getting stuck in a dream that maybe is just off a little bit and would have a hard time manifesting. Okay, so with that said, Saturday, Leo moon. Leos love to play. They are so loyal, so generous. They wear their hearts on their sleeves. I feel they really lead with their hearts. And Leos like to shine. They like to have fun. So allow yourself that opportunity on Saturday, maybe to get out and have some fun, be with your people. And just let inner child say, okay, what does my inner little Irina want to do? Or your inner little child? How can you make the most of this energy? I've got 2 cards popping out. Okay, cool. 4 of Wands. So 4 of Wands is like, this is a party. Get out, have some fun. Traditionally, you see like the wedding tent there. Sometimes I see it as a music festival, but you're out with your friends, you're having a good time, you're dancing, and it feels safe and steady, which is nice coming off that Cancer moon because the 4 creates stability. And then the Wheel of Fortune pops up with this. And the Wheel of Fortune is basically saying there's something bigger going on around you that's out of your control. So learn how to roll with it, how to play with it. There's opportunities where the universe, fate, destiny is getting you lined up for the right things. So don't fight it. Learn how to go with it. It kind of reminds me of like when we brace for impact, when we've been resisting, like we're like, no. Like you see somebody, maybe in the rear view mirror, like they're coming up and you're like, oh God, they don't see me stopped. I can tell, right? They're distracted. So you start to brace, and that bracing can cause more injury rather than going with the momentum and the flow of it. So find the way to go with the momentum and flow so that you don't feel like, okay, I'm holding my breath. I'm bracing for that impact. What can you do to work with the energy on hand? How can you dance with it? And what this is saying with Saturday is that you're just aware of the opportunities that are coming your way. If one door closes, okay, another door will open. Don't force it. Don't feel like there's something that you're doing wrong. What you're trying to do is you're inviting yourself. How do I want to say? It's an invitation to dance with the divine. So you're saying, okay, God, and you're like, where am I off? Where's my rhythm off? Where's my beat off? How am I missing this? What do I need to shift and change? And you do the sacred practices to help you get back in touch with that. Okay, Sunday. Sunday is first quarter moon, so that's where we make decisions, and it's in Leo. Leo is fire. So like Aries, there's a boldness to that energy. There's that ability to just move with fire, to take action. It's more of a fixed energy, the Leo. So it's not going to jump in right away. Sometimes it can almost feel like the reluctant leader, or the leader who, when they come forward, they're bringing so much heart and so much loyalty. There's a sensitivity to it rather than the Aries energy, which is like, I'm going to just do this. I know what I'm doing, and everybody will be okay because I know what I'm doing. Leo is a little bit more fixed. It's not quite as fast moving. So with this energy, it's saying, okay, something's got to get cut. Now is when we make the cuts. You did your initial research at the beginning of the week. What are we going to release? What are we going to let go of? What are we going to soften and surrender so that it doesn't feel like we're hitting a brick wall? and we're asking for all these dreams to come true. Maybe there's a job that you're looking for, but the geographic area that you're in, there really aren't those opportunities. So I was doing a reading for someone, and they wanted to be like a financial analyst, and the opportunities for them were more prevalent on the East Coast rather than like in the middle of the country. Can still work remotely, there's still jobs all over the world and all those connections. But if you have a certain trajectory or path or goal you're working towards, sometimes, there's that slight little shift that we need to make in order to ensure that the dream is lining up with greater ease. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to pull a card for Sunday and just ask, what is it that you need to know about Sunday's energy? 6 of Cups. So something from the past. And what I love about this with the first quarter moon is this is the past. We're remembering, we're reminiscing. Maybe we're looking at old photographs. Maybe we're talking with old friends or coming back into our lives. We're remembering where we started and where we are now. And Pluto is retrograding. It goes into retrograde on Sunday. Yes, at 11:27 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, not a big deal at the time. But it's saying there's a review. There's a reassessment. Where am I going? Am I on the right track? Let me look at my past actions. Have they gotten me to where I want to go? Does something need to shift? Is there something that needs to be released? It's just a day for reminiscing and ruminating. Okay. And then also, once you've done that reflecting, taking some kind of action. We're not just sitting around. Thank you all so much for coming to play with me. I love our times together on Monday. So every Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, weekly energy weather report. If you have questions, pop them in the comments. I love to be able to bring these practices to you and these insights. In the meantime, have an amazing week. Oh, and before I go, let me just say, if you want, you're welcome, Julie. If you want a practice to help you with clearing energy, so that you can help prepare yourself to receive the miracles that are all around, irinamiller.co/get calm is my gift to you. It's a free meditation, 2 minutes guided audio visualization that enables you to really clear your energetic field and practice good energetic hygiene. So this is a great way to begin. But in the meantime, I'll see you next week. And remember, trust your vibes, follow your heart, and have a great week. Mwah. Much love, guys. Bye.